Hello and welcome everyone. Today I would like to talk about information system or management information system in MBA. So we study here how we collect and store and process and use our data to improve the system, the business, to make better decisions, to monitor where's the flaws and mistakes, to try to diagnose our system if there's something wrong with it, and to record everything for legal purposes. Okay, it's always good to keep everything recorded in case of anything that could happen. So legally you would be ready. You are documenting everything that go in your business. So the information system is actually consists of the hardware, the computers, the network, okay, and the software, the programs that you use in your system, and the data that you're actually storing and processing, and the people, the IT team, and people who works in the IT department in your system, in your company. Also, all the hardware parts that can connecting those things together. And if any of those parts of the information system fail, all the other system or the other parts will fail as well. Okay, because things are connected to each other. So what is the types of information systems? Okay, there's actually 5 types. I'm gonna go through them but one by one. First, we have the transaction processing system, which is simply to handle daily routine tasks from the data. Imagine if in a hospital I have daily data that I have to process. If new patients entering the hospital, patients leaving the hospitals, that all the finance, okay, the lab test, the medical procedures, the medical imaging, they should be stored on the file, the electrical file of the patients. All of that is used on this system. Transaction, as you can tell from the word transaction, processing system, the TEPS. This is used in all big companies, hospital organizations, okay, for daily processing of data. Second, we have the management information system, which simply to summarize data for managers. If a manager want to take a look at the overview of the company daily or weekly, or okay, he won't be able to go through all the details and all numbers. That would take a lot of time. This is why this system, the management information system, is useful. It gives him or her the summarize the data, and gives him or her overview about everything, okay, in the company. Third, we have the decision support system. And this system actually help to make complex decisions. Think about AI, for example. So the system could see the numbers, the results, and based on those results and numbers could suggest something to do, like increase the numbers of bed, increase the capacity of the department B, hire 3 doctors in the lab, for example, okay? And of course, all companies, especially big companies, use all of them. Some of them use some of those systems, but big companies usually use all of them. Then we have, fourthly, executive information system. What actually it says, if you want to do something, apply something to all the system at the same time. It's an executive system. You give your order and things would be changed, like increase 1 hour, decrease 3 hours, Okay, increased the waiting time for patients 3 minutes. I'm sorry, something like this. And finally, we have the enterprise resource planning. Resource planning. So it gives you information about the parts of the system, okay, for a human resource, lab, anything. Think about it if you have a farm, and these systems help you. Probably I was not recording here. So lastly, I was talking about enterprise resource planning. So it tells you how to use your resources in your company efficiently, okay, whether people, workers, or materials, gold. Think about if you have a big farm and you want to know what you could possibly potentially do with your resources that you have. So you could use this system. Okay, I don't know if it was recording or not when I said that. Anyway, so now I'd like to talk about database. Database. And it's actually a place to store your data. Think about it. You are a hospital, for example, and you have a lot of data that entering your system. New patients, new lab tests, new stuff, new things, okay? So I want a place to store those data, okay? So, and this is related to something called the electronic health records, to record the information of your patient. So there's another concept, which is the cloud computing storage, or storing system. It's actually, if I have to store those informations, I have computers, for example, but think about it. If an MRI image is high resolution, takes it takes a good amount of memory to store it. So if I'm doing a lot of images, taking a lot of images for patients every day, I need a place to store those information. So I could actually hire, instead of buying an expensive server or a place to store my data, I could actually store my data remotely on the internet. Okay, there is websites that provide this service. You pay monthly or annually, whatever, and they give you a size of their server to store your information, instead of buying an actual hardware server and memory and disks to store the data, because that takes time, maintenance, you have to take care of them, it's expensive. So this is what is a cloud computing system is. Next, I would like to talk about cyber security. This term is very famous now. Cyber security, which is protecting your data. Simply, there's a lot of hackers that could hack your information and use it against you or blackmail you for your information. Whether you are a hospital or organization, you have a confidential and private information. So this is why people use something like firewalls, okay, to protect your information. Access control, only make like a lot of codes, a lot of different difficult way to enter the system, or multi-factor authorization. And we already see that, like in WhatsApp, sometimes it asks you to give 2 factors, like give your number and your email and your print, for example, fingerprint. So to make it harder for hackers to steal your information, okay? Because remember, in business, information is money. Information is money, okay? There's also the concept of system development. This is why you need always IT people development. You need IT people to do regular maintenance to your system. Make sure nobody is stealing anything. Make sure there's no flaws, no mistakes in your system. Okay? To develop the system, especially if there's updates on specific programs, updates for Windows, for example, for Mac, forever. So this is why system development is. So eventually, after all, the MIS, the Managerial Information System, it's the basic idea of it, which is efficiency, to how to store and use your data efficiency, use the principle of efficiency, and to help you make your decisions, protect your privacy and the privacy of your customers, and to protect you legally. Okay? So this is what I want to talk about today in this video. I hope it was useful, and goodbye.